So hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Luke and I talk about classic, vintage and affordable perfumes. Today I thought I'd do a video on winter warmers, scents that heat us up in this cold weather. Where I live, it's already about -3 degrees Celsius, mind you, so winter has hit us hard about a month too early, but let's embrace it and enjoy it with these amazing scents. Cue in the intro. Alright, so let's get cracking. The first one is SpellBound by Estée Lauder. This is an oriental floral from 1991. Sophia Groisman was the nose behind it, and I happen to have two versions. I've got the vintage version, which is this beautiful mini Parfum, and it smells absolutely delectable. This is beautiful. The carnation is so rich, the amber, the civet, the tuberose. This is a fragrance of extremes. It's extremely strong, but it's also soft, powdery, ambery, vanillic at the same time. This is a proper winter warmer. I would say it's an acquired taste. You have to like it, you have to get used to it. But if you love vintage style fragrances like Poison with lots of carnation, tuberose, this one is a no-brainer. I would even blind buy it. It's lovely. If you get the new version, don't expect it to be as rich, as strong. It's a bit more powdery, a bit brighter, a bit, softer around the edges, but I love it nonetheless. I put quite a few of my friends onto it and they all love it. They all thank me for introducing it to them. So what does that tell you? SpellBound by Estée Lauder. The next one is Mon Parfum Cristal from Micallef. I blind bought this directly from the Micallef website when it was still available back in January, I think. And this was love at first sniff. It reminds me of Armani C, but it's richer, it's stronger, and it's just a really nice, sweet, juicy, jammy rose scent with lots of vanilla, caramel, a hint of cinnamon. It's really soft, very creamy, very potent, and also very voluptuous, seductive. It's just my favourite kind of floral scent, but also very warm, ambery, and obviously quite gourmand. So this is not something that isn't sweet. If you like vintage fragrances, green florals, this one won't be for you. The box, the bottle, the presentation, pure luxury, and this one really wears so well in cold weather. I love wearing this one in winter. I also bought it in winter, so that's probably why it reminds me of winter, so I might be a bit biased. Anyway, Micallef, Mon Parfum Cristal. This next one has become one of my favourites. This is Angel Stella, the recent most release of Angel. It's a flanker. It's a pistachio flanker of the original Angel, but it still has a ton of Angel DNA. So if you like Angel, if you like pistachio, but not in a strictly gourmand way, I would say. This still has a lot of dryness to it, lots of patchouli, but it still has lots of sweetness. So I guess it's half Angel, half modern gourmand, but it's enjoyable for me. It's not too sweet for me. And I've developed a toxic habit of wearing this to work, and I wear it to work all the time. I should stop because I don't want to associate it with work, but I always get reactions. People always comment on it. It's not always nice comments because it's an offensive scent. It's a polarizing scent, but I couldn't care less. I love it. And I only wear about 3 sprays. And I've got to say, the sample that I had before I bought the bottle and before I opened the bottle was much stronger than this. The bottle is just a tiny bit weaker, but it's still a proper beast mode scent. So if you're a fan of Angel, don't hesitate to try the new version. I didn't really care for the black one or the other blue one. What's it called? I forget. They churn out so many flankers, it's hard to keep track. But this one stood out to me and I absolutely adore it. So Angel Stella from, sadly no longer Thierry Mugler, just Mugler, under the L'Oreal conglomerate. Let's do another Estée Lauder. This one is a proper winter warmer. This is an oriental spicy It's Cinnabar, and this is the original version, possibly from the 80s. I don't even know. This vintage mini is definitely vintage, definitely very old. It smells so much richer than the current version, which is still alright, by the way, just like SpellBound. The modern version is still alright. I recommend it, but if you can get your hands on the vintage one, I definitely recommend the vintage. And compared to other oriental spicy fragrances, this one has more cinnamon and clove than any other note, but I also get some tangerine, or is it perhaps orange? I don't know. There's some citrus in it. And this to me smells like Christmas. But this particular vintage version also has lots of patchouli, lots of musk. It's proper heavy. It's a proper heavy fragrance from the late 70s. A typical oriental. Don't crucify me for saying that word. The next fragrance is C'est la vie by Christian Lacroix. This is from the 90s. It's classified as Oriental Floral, and Edouard Flechier, does that ring a bell? Yes, he also created Poison. Edouard Flechier, he was one of the perfumers who worked on Poison, but it's not entirely his creation, but that's beside the point. C'est la vie by Christian Lacroix is actually a floral, ambery, spicy scent. I believe carnation is one of the main notes, and you probably notice a common theme here. I really crave carnation in the winter because it's such a comforting floral, and it also happens to be the national flower of the country where I'm from. It has a special place in my heart, and my grandma, she always had carnations on the balcony. So this fragrance really is a beautiful carnation scent, but if you're looking for a great carnation scent, there's no need to pay hundreds to get your hands on a bottle of this. This is discontinued and hard to find, but it's really nice to have in your collection. Well, it was gifted to me by a friend, so I wouldn't have bought it otherwise, to be perfectly honest with you. The next fragrance is none other than Hypnotic Poison from Christian Dior, 1998. This was released, and Annick Menardo was the nose behind it. And this scent, in my opinion, triggered a cultural revolution in the world of perfumery. It was one of the first vanilla gourmand scents, not the first one, but one of the first. And hundreds of scents were copied after this one. So this was so big, you can't even imagine. It set the trend, it changed perfume history, and it's just a beautiful vanilla almond scent. I keep wearing it. Some people call it too vintage these days, you know, those people who want a photorealistic gourmand, who want a gourmand that smells like vanilla buttercream smeared all over your body. I'm not one of those people. I like my fragrances to still smell like fragrance, even if they have gourmand elements. I can't really do a video on winter warmers without mentioning at least one proper ambery patchouli scent, and this is the best one of them all. This is none other than Reminiscence Patchouli from 1970. This is a hippie patchouli through and through. Yes, it's similar to things like Coromandel by Chanel, which is a lot more elegant, way more expensive and expensive smelling, but for a proper hippie patchouli, for a raw herbal patchouli, this is the one you should check out. Patchouli from Reminiscence. It has been reformulated, repackaged. You know, the price went up, but I still recommend this one. Reminiscence Patchouli. I'm stocked up on the old version. I have about 2-3 bottles in my wardrobe, I think. The next one is the original Coco from Chanel. And even in the newest versions of the Eau de Toilette, this fragrance is absolutely opulent and exquisite. Even though it's classified as a spicy ambery scent, so a spicy oriental, this has lots of florals to it, lots of brightness in the opening, but when it dries down, it becomes a proper musky 80s oriental scent with florals lingering through. The rose is really beautiful in the scent, and I consider this an absolute masterpiece. And some people like to say that it's been reformulated, it's not as good anymore. I disagree. One thing Chanel does well is keeping their heritage pieces alive and well in a great condition. The next scent is another vintage oriental. This is Tabu by Dana from the 1930s. And this is the vintage Eau de Cologne. It comes in this stunning bottle, and it came with the shower gel, the body lotion, and the dusting powder. Tabu to me is a very nice, sweet, powdery oriental, very balsamic, very resinous, but weirdly comforting and wearable. Even though it's a spicy oriental, and despite its age, I think there's a thick layer of sweetness to this fragrance. It's powdery, animalic, very deeply resinous, and I just find this so easy to wear. Perhaps because it's an eau de cologne, so it does leave a very nice, mysterious trail. And I wore this in Portugal. It was gifted to me in Portugal by my friend Anna, and the scent will forever remind me of that trip. The next scent is Tocade by Rochas. This is your typical floral vanilla, one of those early gourmand fragrances that isn't really gourmand, you know, from the 90s. 1994 was the year this one was released, I believe. And it's just a fun fragrance. Tocade means a whim. So doing something on a whim, living your life on a whim. It's a fun fragrance. It's whimsical. It smells delicious, but it's still perfumey. This is not a modern gourmand. I repeat, some people say this smells like Turkish delight. Well, it does perhaps in a way, but it still smells like a fragrance. The musk in here is very strong. It also has a touch of greenness in the opening, and the rose is jammy, powdery, and sweet. I enjoy this scent a lot, and if you want to purchase this one, I recommend to put it away for a few months. It macerates really nicely and it becomes even stronger, more vanillic, and I really look forward for this one to become even stronger, even richer when it macerates. I've got a 100ml, so I'm not going to run out of this one anytime soon. So Tocade by Rochas. So there you have it. These are my winter warmers. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please share your winter warmers in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.